So today we have with us Mr. Nemish Kapadia, an experienced chartered accountant and head of auditing and CFO services at Sudit K. Parekh. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Nevan, and thanks for having me on Capital Curious. It's exciting for me to be on this show, and happy to contribute to whatever I can.
Is there anything you'd like to add to that description or introduction?
Not really. I think it's perfectly fine. Maybe we can just start getting into the conversation.
Awesome. So let's begin. So I've created the first segment around accounting stereotypes, and when I was doing research, I saw many opinions on the monotony of accounting. But first, I wanted to understand what made you want to get into accounting. And in these years of accounting, has your perception of accounting changed?
So, just to talk about my journey, Nevan, I've pretty much started my career way back in early 2000 and have stuck to this profession for the last 25 years. So, that at least will answer a question that I still find it exciting enough, to be around here. And the journey has been awesome, if I may put it that way. There are, it's a bit of a taboo course when it comes to, the way the Gen Z looks at it, and probably even the way the earlier generation looked at it. But I think it's highly underrated in that sense. Uh, See, the profession offers a lot to you, and in a way, you don't only get into learning about the accounting and taxation part, which is what the conventional chartered accountant has done, but it lays a fantastic base for many aspects of money management and financial management. And in my mind, what is missing in this course is just the proper marketing, and bringing some more savviness into the way it is portrayed. I think that apart, this is probably one of the most exciting courses around.
Awesome. And I see the passion that you have for accounting. So I just wanted to ask, what would you say to someone classifying accounting as boring or mundane?
So, I'll differentiate between accounting and chartered accountancy. I think there is more to chartered accountancy as compared to accounting. So, maybe I'll answer on the accounting part first. So, accounting is largely getting your, what have you done, whatever you've done in your business. It's actually drawing up the numbers in a manner that you can understand it financially how you performed, and it can be exciting to see if the numbers show up well, and it could be exactly the opposite if it doesn't show that well, but it shows a true picture in that sense. So accounting actually takes care of that aspect. As far as chartered accountancy is concerned, I think, as I was talking in the earlier question, I think it's way more. It includes, accounting and bookkeeping, which probably is what is understood by chartered accountancy. You also learn and become an expert in taxation, and that's an area which, when the Gen Z gets into business, they'll realize that they want more and more planning and, tax savings through planning. And that's where, they really feel the need of CAs around. Okay. But beyond this, you have clear aspects like money management. I personally get into CFO services, and it's a lot on the funding side, getting the right funds in place for the organization, mergers and acquisitions, due diligences, valuations, and many more things around. So, it really sets up a base for a person who wants to, have a complete 360-degree spectrum of what it will take from a finance perspective, and take it forward from that base as such.
Understood. And is there one part of your job that people would be surprised to learn is actually creative? Not something that inherently demands creativity, but something that is unexpectedly creative.
So I'll tell you of my journey, and what gave me the kick of staying put with this profession for so many years. I personally am an extremely curious person about understanding businesses, okay, understanding various sectors, and knowing how businesses really function. Okay. And over the last 25 odd years, I must have touched uh, probably numerous sectors and numerous businesses. And what has helped me is, while that's a very integral and important part for me to get the accounting, finance, and various other aspects for my client right, without understanding the business, I can't get that far. But for professionals or for the younger generation who wants to figure out what needs to be done in their life, okay, even on the entrepreneurial journey, if you've actually gone through this base of chartered accountancy, it will be very easy for you to go beyond the perception of what a business will take. So if somebody wants to have a startup in place, I think you clearly will be better placed becoming a chartered accountant, because you'll understand the business way better even before you get into it.
Audio Jungle.
So, of course, you're providing a service, doing due diligence, tax returns, and other services to businesses. So, clients are inherently a huge part of chartered accounting. But do you have to attract clients? And if you do, how do you do so?
So, see, the way the profession works, or the way we are taught about things, there's a huge thing of ethics in accountancy. Okay, I don't know if you heard of this as a part of the CA profession, but we are having a lot of no's, a lot of don'ts that form part of this profession. We really cannot directly market as the way the profession stands today. So it's the service that we give to the client. Okay, gives that level of delight to our clients as such, and it's the service which should be forming part of how we would really market, or how we would be known by more people around. So, marketing, digital marketing, having our standees somewhere or advertising is a complete no-no. So, it's a very different and smarter way of how you project yourself. Obviously, we would, like any businessman, like any professional, we would want more accounts and clients for us. And while this is a noble profession, somewhere you definitely want situations where you network better, you get to know more people, get them to know about your services, and have them, as additional logos in your portfolio.
So, what you're saying is that kind of your work, like if your service is really good, you're attracting better clients and having those clients kind of almost markets itself and you don't really have to do anything.
So, in a way, yes.
Hmm.
Well, if I may just want to add to that, we land up giving, showcasing our sort of talent, or our the depth of the knowledge that we have in various conferences, various roundtables, various different forums. So our potential customers get to know about us through various channels and aspects, even beyond just the word of mouth. So, that's again a very critical aspect, and who doesn't want more clients, as I mentioned that earlier. So that definitely is a very critical part. And through the journey of, maturing as a chartered accountant or heading some practices, we do have our own set of targets. So we do have business development and targets as a very critical part of, or a very critical KPI, if I may put it that way, for somebody who reaches the level of partnership or something like that.
Understood. And you spoke initially about ethics and then the depth of knowledge. But I wanted to understand as a chartered accountant, do you have a say in the firm's decision making, maybe some ethical decisions, or do you offer some financial strategies?
Certainly, Navan. So, if you, I don't know if you heard of this concept. You have doctors. Chartered accountants are called the financial doctors of their clients. Okay, so we would want the clients to do the right things financially, and make those decisions in a manner that they plan rather than evade tax, or they don't do anything which is ethically incorrect. Get them on the right path. There are obviously ways and means to achieve the same objectives. Okay, so we do hold our clients from getting as far to do something which is unethical.
Awesome. And When making these decisions, how do you balance being cautionary while also taking possibly high risk, high reward decisions?
So it's a push and pull, Nivan. You obviously have to know your clients well. The moment you know the clients and their psyche well, okay, and you know their numbers, how they've performed, how they've experienced themselves in the past, you actually are able to put the right communication and convey the right messages to them for them to take the right decisions. There are situations and times where clients really don't want to go the path that you are suggesting, and there we as say auditors have an option, to probably put some qualifications or modifications in our report to put it across to the stakeholders of the company that, hello, here, the client, the company's done something which probably is not the best way to do things. So I'm putting it very lucidly, very easily, but there are options where we stand on the ethical part, on what the norms and the accounting standards, auditing standards guide us to do, and put it in our reporting very clearly that, these are aspects where, the client is deviated from what it is required to do.
Audio Jungle.
And recently, I've seen accounting kind of lose its popularity to other jobs like investment banking and venture capital. But as we've established today, there are so many exciting aspects to the job. And I think there's so much room for younger individuals to become aspiring chartered accountants. So, what would you advise younger students, currently aspiring chartered accountants, who are struggling to pass their CA exam? Are there any tactics or strategies that they can use, or is it kind of a game of persistence?
So, see, persistence, perseverance, hard work, uh, you find it more tangibly evident in a CA profession or passing the CA course. While believe me, life is also as difficult as a CA exam. Okay. If you're not doing it or practicing it while you're studying your CA, these aspects and qualities are required if you take even the entrepreneurial part or the investment banking part or the likes of those. So, I don't think life is simpler than what it takes to pass a CA exam. Okay, so it's pretty much there. It's just that it hits you on day one, when you are actually giving your first critical exam of your life, that you feel that this is too much for me to get through. Okay, there are economics which one should keep in mind as well. That see, the CA profession earlier had more supply than demand of chartered accountants, and it actually works that way, and I'll spend a minute on that. So the passing percentage, okay, is defined by the institute based on how much CAs can be absorbed in the market. Okay, so there was a time, way back in the early 2000 when not as many chartered accountants were really required in the market. Okay, so the passing percentage were relatively lower, as low as less than a percent as well. Okay. Today's date, it has gone to at least 15%. 15 to 17% is the passing percentage. So I think 15 times a passing percentage should give a sigh of relief to anybody venturing to become a chartered accountant. So that's on the passing side, the difficulty side, etc., and all that. But the on the qualitative aspect, the profession actually makes you an expert on the accounting and taxation side, whereas it gives you a very good strong roots it puts across for the other specialized sort of aspects or professions that one can get into, like investment banking, merger and acquisitions and the likes of those. So it actually sets up the right base. There are subjects like financial management, costing, now tech is also given an equal importance. So these things actually give you a very strong base. Okay. And once you've done this, you may want to pick up, a more specialized course like a CFA, if you really want to take the route of investment banking. But believe me, if you've done your CA or you've studied what it takes from a financial management and costing perspective, and then also having knowledge about auditing and taxation, you will be a way better investment banker as compared to somebody who's just done a CFA. Okay. And I can completely vouch for that, when I'm saying so. So doing a chartered accountancy doesn't go in vain if you are looking at things like investment banking or any such aspect which takes you from a financial management perspective.
Understood. So you're kind of saying that the skills you gain from the CA exam equip you to explore a broader financial world. But don't do you think that the difficulty of the exam and now the increased passing rates, do you think that's sort of acting as a deterrent for people to pursue chartered accounting or accounting in general?
So there is, as I said, we've not marketed ourselves well, and any fraud coming through, people get scared in terms of because there's a finger pointed beyond the management on the auditor or the financial manager. So it's more a scare, for somebody who wants to pursue the profession, you know, to feel that will something if something goes wrong with my client, then I may be also taken to task. Okay, but I don't look at it that way while I'm an auditor myself. You got to do things right, and if you're doing things right, you don't need to worry about things. Okay, so uh, different aspects, and I'll try and sum it up in an order. So one is actually getting into the profession. You have an upside down funnel here. Your entry point is easy. The exit is a little difficult as compared to an MBA or something like that, or a CFA. Okay, so here you can enter fast, but the exit is relatively difficult to start with. Now, the course is not only about giving an exam, Nivan, and I think that's important for every person, every student who wants to pursue a career. Okay, it actually has a period of articleship which exposes you to the external world, to the real world, of what it takes to face a client, what it takes to communicate to a client, how is it that the work is done, how to burn the midnight oil, how to do your work simultaneously while you're studying. So it teaches a lot of things. So I think articleship is it's highly underrated. It's one of the most important aspects. It actually teaches practically how you're going to put what you've learned into practice. So that's an important aspect. Then when you become a chartered accountant, okay, and by that time I would tend to believe that, see, kids are not really clear in terms of which direction they want to be. What is their sort of to be place, whether it is taxation, whether it is auditing, whether it is investment banking. There are words and terms which we get excited with. But do I have it in me to become an investment banker? Okay, am I able to slog it out? There are peaks in investment banking, and people get exhausted at 35, 40, and that's the journey. So are you happy to peak in your career at a 40 and then take a stop somewhere? So when you're doing your CA, when you're actually exposed to articleship, you necessarily are exposed to the world. By the time you pass, you are sort of more clearer in terms of what is my go-to sort of profession, what is my niche, where is it that I really want to pursue life ahead, from a professional standpoint. And this is a fantastic way to zero down on what it will take for me to go and take that path. For somebody like me, I've stuck to my profession. I still am doing a bit of what conventionally the profession is all about. But believe me, with maybe a sample of 20 people who would have started, studying CA with me, there are very few who are chartered accountants and are doing what I am doing today. Okay, many have become investment bankers, many have gone into valuation, many have become tax experts, and very successful in their life. Many have become entrepreneurs as well. So, as far as CAs are concerned, you have the likes of Deepak Parekh, who's been a chartered accountant, Kumar Mangalam Birla is a chartered accountant, Aman Gupta is a chartered accountant, Piyush Goyal is a chartered accountant, and these are all people in different walks of life. They're all uh, doing things a little different than what you or any Gen Z would be pursuing or perceiving what a chartered accountant can do. Okay, so it really gives you a fantastic 360-degree view of what it will take to succeed in life for that particular person.
Awesome. And Earlier, you spoke about the integration of technology into chartered accounting and how that is almost increasing over the years. Are you seeing any new opportunities emerge for CA beyond like traditional audit and taxation? Or is AI and automation responsible for, in fact, taking away opportunities from aspiring
No,
chartered accountants?
it's an enabler, the way I see it, Nivan. Um, the profession has changed drastically. If I can give an example of the way we do work in my organization, okay, we are trying to ensure that people are thinking more. Chartered accountants are expected to think, so they are thinking more and doing less when it comes to repetitive task or something which is more transactional in nature. So we are putting our bent completely on things like automation, digitization, AI, okay, for helping us to do the mundane or mechanical task. So what we do as people who are working in say the auditing or the CFO services, we are actually trying to do what it takes to use the output or make the AI and automation work for you. Okay, apply your skills, apply your expertise, the niche that you've developed all these years, the experience that you've gained, and deliver to the client the best possible output. Okay, so as time is passing, as automation is becoming more and more matured, let me tell you, AI is still not as matured as we would want it to be in today's date. But there is a clear hunger of having more and more maturity there and adopting and adapting more and more of automation in what we are performing or what we are doing right now. Now, the point is, will it lead to job loss? I would say no. I think it will increase and enhance the quality of what a chartered accountant will eventually do.
Awesome. And I think you made it quite clear that instead of, in fact, taking jobs, AI will almost be used as a tool to enhance efficiency and productivity. So I think that's a really, really essential skill for younger chartered accountants or aspiring chartered accountants. But is there any other skill that you think the next generation of CAs will need that wasn't as important maybe 10 years ago?
I think one clear aspect I see, and it's related to the earlier discussion that we did, is understanding tech better. Okay, so we see a lot of chartered accountants who have that knack on the tech side, actually using that particular knack to build more models, more automation tools, etc. So you'll see a lot of chartered accountants actually taking that route. And somebody like me who's wanting more and more tech to be intertwined in my delivery, okay, I'm also somebody who will have to learn and understand tech better. Obviously my learning and understanding is more towards the application side of things and how it helps, not on the coding side or not on actually making the tech. But this clearly is an additional skill and expectation that we have from budding chartered accountants also, that they adopt, while they are doing their studies. And that clearly is one more feather in their cap, one more additional aspect which they bring onto the table.
Understood. So basically, like this deep understanding of technology and its integration in chartered accounting is really important. And you sort of have to have the raw intellect for that. But when hiring a CA, is genuine intellect really valued more than textbook knowledge?
I'll tell you, at the end of the day, whether it is a CA or any other sort of activity or work that you'll end up doing, I think beyond beyond the technical or the bookish knowledge or things like that, the first is the right attitude and approach. So if you have a candidate sitting in front of you, okay, and you have to really put a weightage in terms of what is it that I'm seeing in the candidate. I think a large amount of weightage goes in the attitude the person brings onto the table. The temperament is another, because these are high pressure, uh, situations that the candidate will deal in. So the temperament goes a long way. There are a lot of interactions with the client. Communication skills go a long way. Somewhere, if I'm hiring a chartered accountant, it will be sort of a given, that the basic skill set, of knowing the subject is already there because they've gone through the grind of giving the of doing what it takes to pass the C exam. But having said that, sometimes in our interviews, we do value a lot of what they have done in their articleship, the type of difficult situations they've dealt with, how they overcome those things. And these are really, really important than just the bookish knowledge.
So let's move on to the next segment, underrated and
Sure.
overrated. I'm going to be giving you some viewpoints, thoughts, opinions on chartered accounting, and you're going to tell me whether they're overrated, given too much attention, more than they deserve, underrated, given not enough attention, or fairly rated. The attention they get is warranted. So let's begin. Networking in chartered
Sure.
accountancy,
Underrated.
working in a big four firm,
Overrated.
traditional auditing techniques are now outdated.
Overrated.
Young CAs working for startups rather than accounting focused firms.
Fairly rated. I think it deserves to be there somewhere.
And lastly, the internet as a medium for learning about chartered accounting.
Overrated.
Awesome, and that wraps it up. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Just before we conclude, just one final question. Briefly, what is the most important thing you learned as a chartered accountant?
I think trust, building trust, uh, you know, having that level of trust that you showcase to your clients, I think goes a long way. And specifically in the auditing profession, which I am personally into after being a chartered accountant, that is right at the epitome.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you so much for giving your time. I learned a lot, especially I think about the aspects for young CAs and the steps that they should take. I think those are really valuable insights.
Pleasure was all mine, Nivan, and thank you for for having me here. And I wish all the luck to you and Capital Curious in terms of taking this journey ahead. I think you are doing a great job in having this showcase through YouTube, through your YouTube channel. I think people have a lot to learn from this. So all the best and all the luck ahead here.
Thank you so much.